earlier this week, I see the world marked World Youth Skills Day. That was earlier, I think, on the 15th. The global conversation has shifted to a particular theme at this point: youth empowerment through AI and digital skills. In an era defined by rapid technological advancements, we see the ability to harness artificial intelligence and navigate the digital landscape is no longer a luxury now, but a necessity for the next generation. This theme underscores a critical pathway for economic inclusion, innovation, and societal progress, particularly for the vibrant youth population across Africa. Today we'll delve into how equipping young people with these transformative skills can truly unlock their potential and shape a more prosperous future for us all. Joining us for this conversation, we have Olashko Abedin Okweyemi, is a Global Director, Brain Builders Youth Development Initiative. Great to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ladi.
So given the theme, for this year, youth empowerment through AI and digital skills, what specific, AI and digital competencies do you believe are most crucial, for young people to acquire today to thrive in this, ever-evolving job market? I've seen some people tell me that my job is at risk here.
All right, thank you very much for that as well. So I would like to put it succinctly as well, that either we like it or not, AI has come to stay. And I do not subscribe to the opinion that your job needs to be on the line because of AI. What I tell people is AI is a smart young person. You've got to look for ways through which AI could make you much more smarter. What I mean by that is AI is also based on the data that we are fed it with. Without human being as well, AI will not be able to churn out information that will be credible and stand the test of time. So that really means for AI to perform optimally as well, it needs the human angle as well that needs to train the chatbot to give responses in near real time. And artificial intelligence will make you much more smarter as a young person or as a youth if you see it as a support system and not just a 100% reliant. Because, of course, during the last conversation you were having with Usama, I saw you talking about algorithm bias as well. These are some of the issues with artificial intelligence. So, succinctly put, Ladi, AI is not going to take your job. I don't think so. You are a very smart man. And it's also an admonition to other young persons who are out there as well to see ways through which AI could be complementary to their job and not depending on it 100%. Now back to the theme of the What You Skill Days for 2025. There is also a need for us to set the tone that, the What You Skill Day started in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. That's about 11 years ago, to celebrate the resilience of young person as far as empowerment, entrepreneurship, technology, or vocational education is concerned. You quite agree with me that even here in Nigeria, there was a particular time that the federal government, had to make compulsory the teaching of graduate-safe entrepreneurship to solve the problem of unemployment. Year in, year out, we see data being shown about the National Bureau of Statistics. We see, different international organizations carrying out research on the level of unemployment, not only in Nigeria, but across Africa and globally, which I tell people, it's a cankerworm. It's a table that has been shattered. So one of the methodologies that the government is now using to solve that, aside the fact that days like these are being celebrated, aside the fact that there is an incorporation of teaching of entrepreneurship in school, is to create different initiatives to empower much more young person. Skills like web development, software, front end and back end, skills like even teaching people how to prompt artificial intelligence is a skill now. Because it's not enough for you to just ask GPT anything. That's why, as an organization, we did a recruitment recently, and believe you me, about 25% of those use AI didn't use it smartly. They just copy and paste. It was just a copy and paste, and they used to apply. And as an individual who has launched 2 different AI solutions, to a large extent, I've been sleeping and dreaming AI for the last 2-3 years. So when you use AI, there's a high likelihood that I'm gonna know, because there are some nuances that relate to artificial intelligence. A critical part of the new job that is emerging now is teaching AI prompting, AI engineer, and of course, creatively teaching people how to maybe perhaps use AI to make videos and make edit perfectly in real time to solve a whole lot of things. So the job market will evolve. Absolutely, I agree. Some organization have to downsize and cut costs, absolutely, because of AI. But will people still continue to be relevant? Of course, 100%.
Right. Okay, let's talk about reliance now on artificial intelligence. You did say you can spot, when, something is coming from AI, at this point. So how do you balance it? How do you make sure you're not relying too much on artificial intelligence and you're not losing your natural intelligence?
Yeah, thank you very much. Creativity and innovation should be at the core of our work as a young person. As a journalist, if you use artificial intelligence to write a story, that human angle, that voicing, that nuances that you want to pass to your audience obviously will not be there. Because the same AI might be used by about 3 or 4 people. It's like you calling for an application for a fellowship now or for a journalism workshop, and there's a question, why should we select you to attend this AI journalism fellowship? There's a high likelihood that if Ladi and Abidin is applying and Ladi is using AI and Abidin is using AI, most likely our responses will tilt towards the same direction. But what about if I have my own story about how I've been carrying out my journalism activities? You work with channels, I work with Fact Check Africa, how the impact stories around, placing African business on a global spot is an achievement for me. And I've been trying to use that and leverage that as well to improve the economic situation of the country and the continent. The story is different from exactly what AI will give me. AI will only scribble resources available online, and sometimes that aligns with what you have to your name and give you response. It can't be the same as you who want to sit down, who want to craft that responses. That's one. Secondly, if you also notice as well, if you are not smart about using AI, when AI, especially GPT, gives you a response, the last paragraph sums up the first 4 or the first 5 or the first 10 paragraphs. There is also the usage of Ivan for that. There's also the usage of some grammar that is aligned with GPT or Gemini AI as well. So if you are the type that have been interacting with AI for quite a number of years, like mine for the last 2 years, there's a high likelihood that when AI is used to send a response or send an email or send a letter to you, you will most likely know. That is also not to say that 100% I could know. The next question that might be ruminating in your mind, Ladi, is the fact that over the past month, academicians have been saying that there has been a tool that was developed to, get plagiarism of AI. And I've heard academicians, talked about that it's not perfect. That's one of the biases of AI as well. That's to tell us AI is not 100% perfect, like I started with. It is the information that we have filled with the AI that the AI will churn. And that's why, as Nigerian, as an Africa, we need to, I commend the federal government to the Ministry of Digital Communication for what they are doing about, developing skills around AI in partnership with data science. We need to develop capacity. The level of AI literacy in Nigeria and in Africa is at a very low hub. So that's why corporate organization, government agency, policy makers, and individuals as well needs to team up together to ensure that we develop a curriculum that stand the test of time, so that, of course, Nigeria will not do a catch-up, or Africa will not do a catch-up with artificial intelligence, because now it has come to stay. It has been built without us 100% on the table. So we need to look for ways through which we can shatter that table, rearrange the table in such a way that, our own nuances, our own languages, the data that AI is going to give us speaks the Nigerian voice, speaks the African voice, and is domesticated or localized to our context here.
Right. And do you think there's a risk AI will make you dumber, or is it just a given fact that AI will make you smarter, with your natural intelligence? And what do you think kids should start, messing around with AI, kids below 10?
Yeah, thank you very much. In our own organization, our Brain Leadership Development Initiative, we have just developed an AI literacy curriculum, especially for kids and secondary school students, because we need to use a bottom-top approach for this strategy. So we will be, in the next couple of weeks and months, we'll be going to schools as well to use this curriculum to teach AI literacy in primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions as well. We are also working on a gamification flashcard, because we also discover from our interaction with kids that they tend to interact more with games, as far as learning new skills is concerned, in a very fun way or in a fun environment. So my admonition would be to every critical stakeholder, parents, school owners, teachers, to look for ways through which they could use AI resources safely, in quotes, please, because there is a subject of a conversation around AI ethics, AI safety, and AI governance. That's another ball game entirely. So while we are trying to adopt this as well, we must make sure that, in teaching AI literacy, we know about the nuances. And that's why for our own literacy project, for our own AI literacy project that we are working on, we want to work with teachers to empower the teachers through the Train the Trainers workshop, then cascade down to schools as well. Not only that as well, working with people in the grassroots community who ordinarily might not have access to internet. But believe you me, we have seen that, especially during COVID-19, even octogenarians and septuagenarians have access to WhatsApp platform. That's why we are also not leaving anyone behind by going to the grassroots community.
Right.
Then the question of making you dull or dullard. I tell people, if you're not very smart, you can't use AI. So if you are a dullard naturally before, AI cannot be smarter, to be honest.
Wait, so if you were naturally dumb, AI will make you smart?
To be honest, because it just gave you a case study of a person applying for a job and did a copy and paste without even making any edits. And, use that inverted comma and even that AI will give you, include your name here. It shows you're naturally dumb.
All right, so, I watch a lot of movies. We've seen movies where artificial intelligence becomes, self-aware and, takes over the world. And I'm wondering, at some point, are we going to have, people that install artificial intelligence into their natural intelligence? Are you seeing that kind of development in the future?
To be honest, I'm seeing it's tilting that way because, believe you me, when we firstly heard about AI, and let me firstly say this, AI is not just something recent. It's just that the booze is all around the corner now with the advent of, ChatGPT. If you have used Grammarly before, it's AI that made it possible for you to use Grammarly to correct your sentences. So it shows AI is not just a new thing, it's been in existence. But, because of the involvement, especially with the development of GPT-3, GPT-4, and now advancements are happening, there's a high probability that, invention and innovation could happen and you could support your natural brain or your natural instincts with artificial intelligence. So at that point, I don't know, maybe you have seen these news stories that in some countries now, AI are being used as complementary effort to perform, health checks. So it shows we are really getting there.
Right. We're moving really fast at this point. Thank you so much. It's so funny how GPT sounds like GPT, like when, trying to scam somebody. Well, thank you so much for helping us unpack this. Olashikpo Okwemi is the Global Director of Brain Builders Youth Development Initiative. Thank you for coming out today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Cheers.